Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. So great to have you here again today. So it is the day of the week that we ramble. Are you ready to ramble? Yes, of course you are. So I thought that we could start off by talking about some news stories that I've noticed over the last couple of days. I screenshotted them on my phone, but what I'll do is I'll look them up here together with you, um, that are subjects that we were talking about in the Economist cover of like what's coming in 2024, right? And if you missed that, I did already put the link in the description. So you can watch that later if you're so inclined. Um, so first up, let me share my screen. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. So there we go. So this is just the basic, news, UPI news. So let me look in my phone for my little screenshots, different topics. Okay, here's one. Google delays launch of Gemini AI to early 2024. Okay, so let me look that up. Gemini, Google. Google delays launch of Gemini AI to early 2024. AIbusiness.com. Oops, we don't. Okay. So the launch of Google's most, please don't make, no thanks, I do not want to sign up. Okay, good. We can still see the story. Yay. The launch of Google's most powerful LLM, Gemini, was reportedly canceled over the handling of some non-English queries. Is there another reason? This was on December 5th, today, 2023. Google DeepMind. So at a glance, Google pushes back plans to release Gemini, its large language model widely considered a rival to OpenAI's GPT-4. Gemini's handling of non-English queries reportedly was the reason for the delay, according to The Information. Google's CEO Sundar Pichai reportedly was concerned that ChatGPT is becoming a household word. Oh, God forbid, right? Remember when there were like so many browsers, Netscape, and of course there's still Mozilla Firefox. Apple computers have Safari, and now like Google is a household word. Oh, just Google it, so like looking up anything on the internet using the Google browser to find it, right, has become like an eponym. And now everybody just talks about ChatGPT for AI, and Google doesn't want that to happen. So, but why this is interesting, okay, is they're planning on launching it in 2024, right? And that's what we were talking about with the Economist cover, is that AI could have a very large leap in our society in the same way before computers, after computers, before smartphones, after smartphones. You know, it's really going to change everything. I mean, AI is going to change everything. And so I just thought that this was interesting that Google is, so when they do launch in 2024, that's one of the things maybe that the Economist is predicting. So let's see what other headlines we got here. UAE mass surveillance threatens rights. UAE mass surveillance threatens rights. COP28 outcome. So this is from Human Rights Watch, November 30th, so within the last week. Participants attending the 28th Annual United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, hosted by the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, will be under extensive surveillance by Emirati authorities, violating human rights and threatening the conference's success, Human Rights Watch said. So I thought this was interesting. And then there's a lot of Amnesty International, tolerance.ca. These are usually NGOs and stuff that I don't trust and everything. But when we're looking at what is the world agenda, you know, the spyware was part of the cover. When we looked, you know, at all the satellites and everything that were at the top of the illustration on the cover, and we said that there was like space defense weapons by satellites, and also the surveillance, right? And so here's an example of that being brought to light, that of this happening, right? That this extensive surveillance of people. We know that in China, that there are the facial recognition cameras capturing everybody, like in Hollywood movies, you know, but it's happening for real. And then based on people's behaviors, they get their social credit score. And if it's high enough, you get a good interest rate on your loans. You're able to enter a store. If it's too low, the door's not going to open for you. You know, you're not going to get a loan at all. You know, so all of that is all kind of tied in. So I thought this story kind of related to that a little bit. Let's see what else we got. Tiny robots made from human cells heal damaged tissue. Tiny robots, which are nanobots, probably, made from human cells heal damaged tissue. So the whole transhumanism, the blending and the merging of science, robotics, AI, together with human bodies, being considered the next step in evolution of humans. You know, I thought so they're called anthrobots. Scientists have developed tiny robots made of human cells that are able to repair damaged neural tissue in the brain. The anthrobots were made using human tracheal cells and might in the future be used in personalized medicine. So this is in Nature Journal. We'll go ahead and click it. I do not want to accept your cookies. When is there a date? Okay, November 30th. The research points the way to a tissue engineering 2.0 that synthetically controls a range of developmental processes, says Alex Hughes, a bioengineer at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. Developmental biologist Michael Levin at Tufts University in Medford, Massachusetts, and his colleagues had previously developed tiny robots using clumps of embryonic frog cells. But the medical applications of these xenobots were limited because they weren't derived from human cells and because they had to be manually carved into the desired shape. Can you imagine a cell like in a petri dish is being manually carved? Like, even what instruments do you even use to do that? I wonder if my friend that invented the cloning gun helped invent any of these instruments. The researchers have now developed self-assembling anthrobots and are investigating their therapeutic potential using human tissue grown in the laboratory. They published their findings in Advanced Science. It goes on to talk about exactly how they did it. Here's some of those cells. Let me look here. Anybody comments? No. Okay. So they spontaneously come together and build a super, what's it called? A structure called a super bot, which is able to encourage the growth of neurons, which is not shown. Yeah, so this is like one more step, right? They said here, going forward, the scientists think anthrobots made from a person's own tissue could be used to clear arteries, break up mucus, or deliver drugs with or without genetic engineering. By combining several cell types and exploring other stimuli, it might also be possible to develop biobots, robots made from biological material with potential applications in sustainable construction and outer space exploration. Andy, isn't that what you were talking about? That they were going to use blood to mix with cement or something to make like a stronger construction material? And so maybe that's what they're talking about here, the biological material being blood cells, you know, and then outer space exploration. Once we understand what cell collectives are willing and able to do, then we can begin to control that, not just for standalone bots, but for regenerative medicine. So the whole transhumanism and blending humans and machines definitely being talked about in the news. So let's see what the next story I screenshotted was. How problematic is mineral mining for electric cars, in The Guardian? How problematic is mineral mining mining for electric cars? Washington Post. There we go. Here it is, The Guardian. Usually The Guardian, this is just 4 days ago, usually puts up that whole cookies thing. There you go. Manage or reject cookies. And then it doesn't actually go away. So I just have to like read this little bit here that we can see. Chalet, it makes your brain hurt. Chalet in the house, chalet in the house. I know, doesn't it? Like, you know, that they're gonna be they want to mess with us. But my concern is if they do something in, like, they release nanobots or something. That was talking about specific, like you can have personalized, like if they take some of your own tissue and then they create something, then it's like personalized for you. But they also have like nanobots and things that can be put in the air. And then if you breathe it, then it's in your body and you can't get them out. That's my concern, So the minerals, the cover also had a section about minerals and electric vehicles. So rare earth and different things. So in part 2 of our series, exploring myths surrounding EVs, electric vehicles, we weigh up the issues of resource extraction. So I'm not going to go through this whole story, right? It's in The Guardian. You see it right here. Here's some rare earth minerals. Let's see what the caption says. An aerial view of brine ponds and processing areas of a lithium mine in the Atacama Desert in Chile. Okay, so they're getting lithium. It's a lot of lithium. And so, yeah, you can like read the whole story if you're interested. But the point is that it is in the news that, that there's issues with mining these minerals. And so something in 2024 is going to happen, whether it's like, wars over the rights to these minerals or what, I don't know. Oops. So let's see what the next one is. Let me see if you have a comment. Evil scientists. Yes, exactly. Bill Gates warns the world is likely to smash through a critical warming threshold. Okay. Bill Gates warns the world is likely to smash through a critical warming threshold. Okay, CNBC. It's also, okay, so he said this at the COP28 that we were just talking about. And so everybody's reporting on it. You've got CNBC, you've got The Hill, the Reddit's talking about it. There's YouTube and stuff. So, okay, well, so what is the mainstream news saying about it? COP28 coverage, right? Billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates on Friday said the world is likely to overshoot the 2 degrees Celsius of global warming. His comments came as policymakers and business leaders convene in Dubai for the United Nations' biggest and most important annual climate summit. Quote, fortunately, we've made enough progress that we're not going to have the extreme cases of 4 degrees Celsius warming, but we'll sadly probably even miss the 2-degree goal. So we'll have adaptation as a priority. Yeah, look at you. You want to see the face of evil? There you go. They've got a plan. They've got a plan of what they want to do. And remember, the thermometer was on the cover of The Economist for 2024. So it was kind of on the China side, but it can apply to the whole world. It doesn't have to only be China. Although we did see an article, I included it in the presentation, the headline about China is getting even hotter. Since like 1940 or 1950, for decades, China has been getting hotter, even more than the rest of the world. So I can guarantee you that if they're pushing this at COP28, Bill Gates is saying it in the mainstream media, they have a plan. And so is the Economist right that something with this whole temperature is going to happen? Yeah. Quote, we are going to have warming, likely above our goals. And that's where adaptation comes in to say, okay, because of this warming, what can you do that is very inexpensive, like better warning systems for bad weather events or better weather data to help farmers know when to plant? Gates said it would be imperative to help the poorest. It's always to help the poorest adapt to human-induced climate change. Human-induced. Now he's trying to say that it's because of all of our fossil fuel usage that we're creating this climate change, right? You know, human-induced by our use of fossil fuels. But what if the human-induced really means HAARP? So let's take a look at that. For anybody who doesn't know what HAARP is, it's a thing. Here, University of Alaska System, harp.gi.alaska.edu. It's their website. It exists. All right. High frequency active auroral research program. That's what it's called. What do? They do. Okay, let's see what they say they do. It's a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere. The ionosphere stretches roughly 50 to 400 miles above the Earth's surface, right at the edge of space. Along with the neutral upper atmosphere, the ionosphere forms the boundary between the Earth's lower atmosphere, where we live and breathe, and the vacuum of space. And so this is where, you know, aurora borealis, the northern lights, the southern lights, when the sun flares hit this layer, which the ionosphere has some kind of magnetism in it, right? You know, and it bounces, and then that's when you get the aurora borealis, the northern lights. But there's plenty. I mean, if you dig into HAARP and some of the specific things that they're actually doing, there's reports of them doing geoengineering. Let's look up geoengineering. Engineering. Geoengineering is the deliberate large-scale intervention in the Earth's natural systems, human-induced, isn't that what Bill Gates just said? To counteract climate change. Oh, really? Like, it's been going on. They've been, I mean, so have you ever heard of a plane flying above a farm, and what I think they used to use dry ice? It drops dry ice, it's that simple, into the air to make a cloud form and then to have rain for that farm, because it's like a drought. And so they make cloud, right? You guys have heard of that. It's been around forever. Well, since there's been airplanes. Maybe when there was hot air balloons, they did it. I don't know. But definitely since there's been airplanes. So they call that cloud seeding, right? It's been around. That's geoengineering. So look, I mean, now they're saying that it's, they're up in the game, is to counteract climate change, right? Wide range of proposed geoengineering techniques. There's all kinds. So like you can look it up. So, you know, the chemtrails, right? They are some form of geoengineering for sure. Which, I mean, this wasn't one of the stories, but let's see if there's anything. Blocking sun. Solar geoengineering methods include stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, in which small particles of sulfur dioxide would be injected into the upper atmosphere. Marine cloud brightening, MCB, which would spray fine seawater to whiten clouds and thus increase cloud reflectivity, right? So, oh, look at this. February in 2023, Time magazine. And look at this, July 2023, Scientific American, supercomputer will help decide whether to block the sun. Right? Time magazine says George Soros is interested in using geoengineering to address climate change. He isn't the first billionaire to give support to the idea. Blah, blah, blah. You can go look it up yourself. Supercomputer. So critics of geoengineering say using aerosols and other substances to reflect sunlight away from the earth could lead to unknown disruptive weather, ... A month later, just this August, scientist offers novel solution to far-fetched sun blocking. The most widely discussed geoengineering concept is tethered to Earth, not out in space. Let's look at this one. Politico.com. Climate science appears to be colliding with The Simpsons. Sure, the animated show's villainous Mr. Burns had nefarious reasons to shroud Springfield in darkness nearly 30 years ago. But the concept of building a giant shade to block the sun's rays appears to be less of a joke amid the threat of climate change. If humans don't tamp down on greenhouse gas emissions on Earth fast enough, one other option, however risky, expensive, and dangerous, scientists are looking at is in space, a giant reflective sunshade constructed between the Earth and the sun that would block a small amount of incoming solar radiation and help cool the planet. It's an idea that's been floating at the fringes of climate geoengineering circles for at least 30 years. So yeah, say it's all conspiracy theory, right? Say the chemtrails are conspiracy theories. For 30 years, these geoengineering circles have been together. Okay, this is one idea that has been floating at the fringes, but that doesn't mean there's other things that these geoengineering circles aren't talking about, right? There's plenty of things they're talking about. But let me see what your comments are. Bill Gates, what a creep. Yeah. Big pharma and the media promoting all of their agenda. It's right there for us to see. People offing themselves more than ever now, I think, too. Yes, because like seasonal affective disorder, when you don't have sunlight and everything, then, yeah, that's very sad. That's very sad. Yeah, these unknown circumstances, right? So yeah, they have different ideas about how to do it, but how much you want to bet in 2024, just like, the Economist is talking about, they're going to try and do something. Let me see what other news stories I got. Oh no, that's, can you see this? Let me see. Little Debbie's holiday cakes. Here, I'll stop screen sharing. You guys ever eat these? They're like cherry cream cake rolls. Oh my gosh. I sent that to my mom. Said, Mom, please, if you send me a box, please include some of those. I want some. She said she might not be able to send one before Christmas. I said, that's okay. Buy them now because after Christmas, you can't buy them, right? And maybe you could get some on sale. But, you send me a box January, February, I don't care. Get them now while they're available and send me some of those because they're so good. So what else? Anything that you've noticed in the news? Anything you want to look up? Anything you want me to look up? I have this It's called oxygenizer. Has extra oxygen in it. So, well, I guess, let's see. I'll go back to sharing the screen. And we'll just look at today's headlines. Google News. Supreme Court case, $15,000 could cost the government trillions. Israeli forces storm Gaza's Khan Yunis. Hospitals are overrun. Yeah, so Israel's attacking again. 4 Republicans qualify for the 4th presidential debate. Oh, for the debate. Zelensky to appeal to U.S. senators for more aid to help Ukraine fight Russia 3 hours ago. You know, it's like they're just trying to get the American public to riot or something, right? You know, I mean, we're everybody, we're his sugar daddy. That's not Biden giving him money. That's U.S. taxpayers giving away that money. That's sad. That's sad. Okay, it's probably going to happen too. Joe Biden's Christmas tree photo raises questions. Ooh, let's check this out from my mom. She lives in, so this is SF Gate. Ooh, did you know there was a magnitude 5.1 earthquake in Hawaii 1 hour ago? 5.1, that's pretty big. Come on, I'm waiting to scroll. It's kind of frozen. Oh, there we go. Oh, the Salton Sea. Okay. A struggling California region is suddenly poised to become very, very rich. The Salton Sea. You guys know about the Salton Sea? It was just desert. And so the people, some developers decided they would dig a big hole and make a lake. And but there's like no inlet and no outlet, or some, I don't know where, I guess just from rain you get it, but then when there's no rain, it just, but there's no, it's like just a pond. And they're saying it's rich with geothermal activity and lithium reserves. Yeah, they tried. So these developers tried to make it into this little lakeside community thing, and then it went bad. A lithium gold mine in the California desert. Okay, so now, oops, I'm sorry, I opened that in that opened in a new tab. All right, whatever. Let's keep going. Boy, these are way too many headlines. 2024 election chaos has some preppers ready for society's collapse. The pandemic's toll on schooling emerges in terrible exam results. Dozens killed after Nigerian army drone strike hits villagers. We tried Baskin Robbins' Happy Holidays ice cream cake, and it filled us with joy. Looks like a nice story. Scientists in discredited alcohol study will not advise U.S. on drinking guidelines. Who is Jeff Bezos, the leader of the tech elite's EACC movement? What's EACC? E/ACC. Effective accelerationism. An ideology. Okay. Know your meme. at various points on Twitter. Oh no, Bezos, not Jeff Bezos. Unless did we shorten Jeff Bezos to Bezos, or is this like a totally different person? Okay, Bezos has defined effective accelerationism as a mimetic optimism virus, a meta-religion, a hypercognitive biohack, a form of spirituality, and not a cult. But in an interview, Verdon put it differently. We're just kind of optimistic people that want to build a better future. See, the tech elite would want a political technocracy to run the world. And with transhumanism, that's like where it's going. Who is Beth Bezos? So that's really kind of moving toward the transhumanism. Let's see, indeed. Man-made lake. Yeah, the Salton Sea. Okay. Let's see what else. Let me do like world. Okay, we saw that pandemic. So what do you guys think about these, like this new virus? I mean, I guess, okay, Cinema Shogun on YouTube talks a lot about the updates on this pneumonia, this white pneumonia, or technically walking pneumonia is what I always heard it called. It's also that, where they're supposed to be starting some shutdowns maybe in China, and it's been found in the Netherlands. It's been found in several states in the US. It's like really kind of starting to spread fast. I don't hear anything about it other than on Cinema Shogun. Are you guys hearing about that in the news? Aw, Kim Jong-un makes a tearful appeal for women to have more babies because they have a declining birth rate. So their country's going to die off if they don't have more babies. Have more babies. Hey, we said the same thing in Cambodia after the genocide. You know, have more babies. And now those babies are like growing up, and it's like the youth are I think like 40-50% of the population of Cambodia is like under 30 or something. I mean, it's like, it's young, lots of babies. There's baby shops, baby stores, selling baby stuff everywhere now. I mean, didn't used to be, just like let babies just ran around naked, you know. I mean, you didn't have diapers. You didn't have nothing when I first came here 16 years ago. I mean, were diapers available? Yes, but that's for the foreigners that were living here. Cambodians didn't use diapers. They didn't use bottles. They breastfed, you know, all of the, you know, everything was natural. And now it's like baby store stuff everywhere. Hamas drugged the hostages before releasing them. Oh yeah, U.S. warships on alert after Red Sea attacks. Yeah. And the Red Sea, you know, that's like where the canal is, not the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal, right? So you have to go from the east, right, to get into the Mediterranean, to get to Europe and all of this. You have to enter at the Red Sea, go through that to get to the Suez Canal to get into the Mediterranean. Otherwise, you got to go all the way around Africa, which is how South Africa became a big country, because then people would stop there in South Africa before heading off again. And so it's a very, very strategic location. And yeah, there's been some attacks going on. New accounts of sexual violence committed by Hamas. Now the press is finally starting to talk about, I mean, because before it was just all pro-Palestine. Nobody was talking about what they did to the Israelis. Now they're starting to come out and talk about that. So that's good. Even, I mean, it's a tragedy, whichever side you're on with that. I mean, war is hell, um, in any form. And let me see comments. Unstable Mabel in the house. Hey, Unstable Mabel. Welcome. So happy to see you here. We're just kind of going over some news stories, but we could talk about anything. It's ramble time. So if there's something you want to talk about, just write it there. When I'm over on the other tab to like go through these news stories and stuff, I'm not seeing the comments. So I have to keep going. Oh yeah, and then this is in Indonesia that this volcano erupted. So it says 23 are feared dead. But yeah, volcanoes, earthquakes, man, it's like every day there's something somewhere. Britain announces stricter visa measures against, so they're like cracking down on immigration or migration. They're saying illegal immigration. 4 reasons why Modi's BJP, that's his party, swept key India regional elections. So remember, this is one of the things on the Economist cover is the elections. The ballot box was right in the middle. And one of the top elections of the world happening in 2024 is India. And we talked all about it, about their population and everything. And so is Modi going to win? And they're saying here, Modi is cruising into a third term. His victory might be a harbinger, because I think they had some regional elections, kind of like primaries, I think. And he must have won that. Oh, and that's it for world. Oh, yeah, okay, we have more. Dozens killed in accidental drone strike in Nigeria. Hits villagers. 120 civilians reported dead. They were at a religious service. And so the Nigerian military attack went awry, and the drone struck this religious service. 120. Started out with 85. Now they're up to 120. Oh, wait, maybe it's gone down. That was 15 hours ago was 120. And then 3 hours ago and 6 hours ago, they're saying 85. That's like in Hawaii. When they started out, they made the number go down. Former U.S. ambassador to Bolivia accused of spying for Cuba. Putin's Gulf state visit defies push to isolate him over the war. So he visited Saudi Arabia. He's defying the U.S. and EU sanctions over the Ukraine war. An oil executive is leading the UN climate summit. It's going as well as you'd expect. Where's Greta? Where's Greta? I haven't seen anything about Greta in the news. I guess now that she's grown up and she's not a little girl anymore, she's not like cute anymore. Maybe, I don't know. Interesting. Israel constructs large pumps to flood Hamas terror tunnels with seawater. Well, that's interesting. An escaped kangaroo was captured after punching a Canadian officer in the face. I wonder if is there video? I think there is. This looks like it has video. Oh, not a new tab. Okay, share this tab instead. Okay.
It's never been more important to secure your site's data. Show visitors their data is protected.
So just after 3 a.m., our officers were on
You guys hear?
patrol.
Guys hear this?
Obviously, we had previous knowledge of the kangaroo being on the loose in the area. So, in a rural property just on the north side of Oshawa, two of our officers located the wayward marsupial. Were able to keep
Wayward
eyes on him
marsupial.
for several hours until just before 7 a.m. They were able to successfully apprehend the kangaroo. So, in accordance with best practices by the handlers, the officers actually just grabbed it by the tail and they were able to safely keep her contained in the area. Only one of the officers was actually struck in the face during the apprehension, but he'll be just fine and we won't be continuing the investigation.
Oh, come on. You didn't show us video. Did you guys see this?
We're going to begin with breaking news overnight. This was a very close call for police officers.
Wait, let me go back a little bit. Look at that.
Wow. Remarkably, it appears that no officers were seriously hurt in this explosion.
Did you guys see that? That was in Arlington, Virginia. And it was 4 miles away from the White House, but you could feel the explosion or hear it. You could hear it at the White House. I mean, if you want to see it again. I mean, I already watched it a couple times, like on Twitter. I watched it.
Wow. Remarkably, it appears that no officers were seriously hurt in this explosion before the blast. Police say that a suspect had barricaded inside this home. He fired some type of weapon. Nicole Skanga is in Arlington with more on the story. Nicole, good.
Okay. So if you want more, you can find out more about it. Yeah. Yeah. Haha. Let me move that. You're not about the bombing. That was about the kangaroo. Oh, let's see what else we can find out happening. Oil depot targeted, blah, 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 blah. New Zealanders gather across the country to protest new policies. 7.6 earthquake. Oh, this is, the Philippines. This happened earlier today. I sent a message. A close friend of mine here in Cambodia is from the Philippines and her family is there. I said, are your family okay? She's like, yeah. Sparked a tsunami warning, leaves 1 dead. Yeah, 7.6. That's big. I grew up in California. 3 is like, ooh, feel the earthquake. Ooh, 7.6, yeah, walls are coming down. Siberian tiger attacks dog, then kills the pet's owner who followed its tracks. Oh. That's sad. That's just sad. So this tiger's hungry or feels threatened. I mean, the dog might have been barking at it. But the tiger was probably hungry looking for food, whether it was trying to eat the dog or it was looking for a rabbit or something. It ends up attacking the dog and killing it. And then the pet owner grabs his gun or his bow and arrow or his machete or whatever he's going to use, and follows the tracks of the tiger to hunt it down and ends up being killed by it too. Oh, that's just sad. Oh, so what else about the COP28? Beyond justification, record number of fossil fuel lobbyists attend. Yeah, are we just talking about that? Chennai airport runway flooded as cyclone Mishong nears India. I'm glad that they're using cyclone correctly here, because what I learned, and I think scientifically it's still true, but I noticed that news and social media and stuff, even mainstream media news, isn't always following this. Hurricanes are in the Atlantic Ocean. Typhoons are in the Pacific Ocean. They have their own naming systems. And cyclones are in the Indian Ocean. And so that's, you don't call a hurricane a cyclone. You don't call a typhoon a hurricane, etc. If it's in the Pacific, it's a typhoon. If it's in the Atlantic, it's a hurricane. And if it's in the India Ocean, it's a cyclone. So what was it? It was Australia. Oh, but you know what? I didn't really like look at a map. So because Australia is both on the Pacific, right? The eastern side of Australia is the Pacific, but the western side, Perth, is on the Indian Ocean, because it was an Australian news story and it was talking about a cyclone. And I was thinking it was the eastern Sydney side, in which case I'm like, why are they saying cyclone? That's a typhoon. But maybe it was a story on the western side. Let's look for comments. What you guys saying? No new comments. All right, we'll keep going. Why Telangana wind could actually be damaging and dangerous for Congress in India. Maduro claims 98% of Venezuelans favored invading Guyana. Really? Venezuela invaded Guyana? Guyana? Or they're just voting on whether or not, because it's an oil-rich country. Like Venezuela doesn't have enough of its own oil. What are they running out? So they were going to have a vote on claiming part of the territory, but Venezuelans just stayed home and didn't vote. U.S. to Israel, Southern Gaza op has to be different. Do not come to the airport. Munich airport closed again after more bad weather. Oh, so Europe has got snow. Going to be a white Christmas there. Mizoram, somebody in India. Okay. Here we go, AI. Europe's AI rules face a do or die moment. Yes, I remember while I was still with the marketing agency I was working for, which we used a lot of AI, that the EU had created a policy. And so anybody doing business in the European Union would need to abide by this AI policy. And they were, all these countries are talking about AI policy, but nobody's actually enacted one. Yeah, different cities, I think Boston, it was a city that enacted AI rules, but this European one was like the first one to step up and like create rules. But lawmakers are reluctant to stop EU companies profiting from surveillance and abuse through the AI Act. Their hypocrisy is on full display over dangerous police AI. AI deal at any cost? Will the EU buckle to big tech? 2024. Who were the young faces of Hong Kong's democracy movement and where are they now? Okay. Israel ramps up ground assault as more than 100 hostages remain in Gaza. China masses militia ships in Spratly Islands. That's the South China Sea, I think, South China Sea. China says the U.S. Navy violated its sovereignty. China state media condemns the U.S. pure act of provocation. U.S. Navy responds after China claims American warship illegally intruded into the South China Sea. You see, according to like international maritime law, there's a certain amount of distance, like 1 mile, 2 miles, whatever, from the shore, from land, belongs to that particular territory. And then you have the international waters outside of that. So what China's been doing is strategically trying to take over islands or even build islands. So then now they've got like 2 miles. Let's just say, for example, it's 2 miles. I don't know. I guess we could look it up. now they own that water. And if you build enough islands, then you're going to own all that water. And what happens right there in the South China Sea? Shipping. Everything, made in China, right? There's so much manufacturing and production in China, and all this shipping goes down the South China Sea, through the Malacca Straits, which is where Cambodia is, and Malaysia and Thailand, and then it gets into the Indian Ocean. Then it goes to the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, through the Mediterranean, and and around. But the South China Sea is like so strategic for shipping. And wasn't the shipping, well, we don't know if it was shipping or if it was smart cities on that one symbol that had all those stacks on it. So like maybe it was a vertical smart city, but I also said maybe it's shipping because it kind of looks like a boat with, you never stack containers that high, but as an exaggeration, a ship with like a whole bunch of containers on it, right? The ANC has betrayed Nelson Mandela a decade after his death. His pro-Palestinian legacy lives on. The Saudi energy minister won't agree to a fossil fuel phase down. Absolutely not, quote unquote. See what you guys are saying. Oh, Mumsy in the house, Christine in the house. Woohoo, you made it. But what's good in the world? Okay, Chalet. That's all I needed was someone to like, did I? It's been stuck on this one. I went back to the other tab. Oh my God. Okay. We'll use this one. Sorry, all that. Well, at least you heard what I was saying. Odd news. Dog in South Carolina rescued from a dryer vent. Oh my God. Could you imagine seeing that? Police and firefighters rescued a curious dog whose head got stuck in the dryer vent. Oh my goodness. A vinyl record returned to the Boston Library 47 years late. It was checked out in 1978. Deer runs through a Sam's Club store in California. Look at that. View this post on Instagram. Okay. I'm following the tab this time. Oh, the poor thing. Can you imagine how scared that deer would be? Not being able to figure out how to get back out again. The young buck ran through the yards, jumped a wall, took a brief dip in a backyard pool before entering the Sam's Club on Ontario Avenue, where it was captured by police personnel. Corona animal control officers arrived, took custody of the deer, and safely released him back into the wild. There they go. They got him. Must be so afraid. Can you imagine? Okay, back over to here, this one. Poor doggy. I know. Poor doggy, poor deer. People suck when they don't obey wake zone and slow speed zones. Yeah, I mean, living on the water there. Yeah, for sure. We're having that problem here in my neighborhood as well, that like people in their SUVs and stuff just zoom through, or they'll stop waiting for somebody, or they live in the house and they want to get the car cold before they get in it. So they turn the engine on to run it. But the car's the exhaust is like going in your window, you know. They endanger so many. Also, don't give Nerf guns to kids without goggles on. Yes, I saw your posts. Thanks for bringing that up here on Facebook. Chalet shared your granddaughter spent 2 weeks with eye goggles and drops and Finally, she's healed. Praise the Lord. Excellent. You know, yeah, but she had that eye patch from a Nerf gun. Yeah. How did we survive the 70s? That's a Gen X topic for tomorrow. Okay, so let's see what else is here. Okay, let me, this is about a possible job. So let me respond to this guy. We're supposed to meet this week, and he's saying that he's, oh, okay. I will consider. Can't. Right now. Tomorrow. Okay, sorry. Potential income, you know, gotta deal with that. Even if it is 10 o'clock at night that they're sending me the message. Okay, military missile spent over 100 years as a garden decoration in Wales. Oh, I saw that. Let's see. Fun. You want good news. Idaho man recaptures a ping pong ball bouncing record. He has more than 250 Guinness World Record titles already. And he broke a record for the third time, bouncing 5 ping pong balls into 5 glasses in 1.64 seconds. That's 1 Mississippi, 2 Misses, 5 that fast. There's the kangaroo recaptured. We already kind of covered that story. Oregon man breaks world record for most burpee pull-ups on GMA. Good Morning America. What's a burpee pull-up? I don't even know what that is. And then we have bathroom humor. 5 surprising stories from the toilet. We'll have to look at that next. Okay, but what's this? What's a burpee pull-up? Okay, let's watch. This is one minute something. It's less than 2 minutes, right? Why isn't it playing? Play video. See, my computer's so slow. There we go.
Now to GMA Gives Back as we count down to Christmas. GMA contributor and my friend right here, Jess Sims, is here. And this morning we're highlighting a local hero helping his community. Tommy Vu is an Army National Guard officer breaking burpee records for a good cause. And this morning, live on GMA, Tommy is attempting, get this, the Guinness World Record for the most burpee pull-ups in 1 minute, all while shining a light on a cause that is close to his heart and his home. Welcome to GMA, Tommy. It's good to see you. So we should point out that you already hold the Guinness World Record for the most chest to ground burpees in an hour, doing 1,003. That's correct.
1,002. Yes.
That's crazy. 1,002. So before attempting a new record, what inspires you to take this challenge here?
So for me, it's a personal fitness goal of mine. To I've got young kids, and just want to make sure as I age that I'm able to play with them consistently throughout their childhood. And I don't want to be that dad that holds them back.
Blah blah blah. What?
My home gym. But no, Good Morning America, you guys have been so
record adjudicator Chrissy Fernandez. Chrissy, thank you for being here. How many burpee pull-ups
I'll get to the
Tommy have to do
SeaWorld
today
in
to
a
beat
second.
the
I
record?
want to see what this is.
So 25 in order to match the current record, 26 to beat it.
Oh, she's so official.
Light work. Yeah, she is.
Light work.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let me grab the mic. Let's start the clock.
Let's
60
do it.
seconds.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Woo. Yes. Easy. Come on. All the way up.
Come on, brother. Come on.
Here you go. We got plenty of time. Let's go. Come on, Tommy. Do it for the kids.
Okay, whatever. He got it. So burpee pull-ups mean you got to like go down on your knees kind of thing. So, okay. I found the SeaWorld comments. SeaWorld out in our waters today because you reported 2 wounded dolphins. And that's why you were saying, see, I saw your people suck when they don't obey the wake zone and slow speed zones, but I didn't see the dolphin part. And then, so then everybody's like, coming about that. When you first heard, you thought it was a real gun. You were hysterical. Oh, the Nerf gun. You thought it was a real gun. Oh, that when you first heard she was injured. Yeah, did they get the dolphins to save them? Mumsy wants to know. Not that you know of yet. But you saw them in the river and the SeaWorld people. Yeah. No worries. That is all you know for now. Yeah, well, keep us updated. They will start feeding it, then get it. Them. So they'll start feeding the dolphins and then they can get them. Interesting. So, okay. This is the one we're sharing. All right. Let's look at this story. We're kind of off of the Economist thing now, unless we come across something. In fact, Virgin Galactic is trending. Maybe after this story, we'll look at that. Crash covers Ohio highway in chocolate and caramel. Vrooman Road. Mom, did you know we have some ancestors named Vrooman that were, I think, in upstate, back when New York was Dutch in the 1600s. We had a Vrooman. I recognize that name. Boxes of chocolate and caramel. 2 trucks collided. Don't tell me it was a chocolate truck and a caramel truck and they collided and then there was chocolate and caramel all over the road, because that sounds like a commercial, right? So, here's the chocolate truck, here's the caramel truck, crash, and now we have chocolate covered caramel. Oh no, it was just one of the trucks that spilled the load of chocolate and caramel. No injuries were reported. Okay. A little bit boring for a story. Okay, let's see what why is Virgin Galactic trending? Virgin Galactic shares tumble after Richard Branson announces no further investment. Oh. So then that leaves only 2 in the space race, because there is a space race. So that leaves Jeff Bezos' company and Elon Musk's company. So stocks plummeted 17%. He's no longer going to invest in commercial space travel. Wow. He no longer has the deepest pockets following COVID. Virgin Galactic has got $1 billion or nearly. It should, I believe, have sufficient funds to do its job on its own. Oh, okay. So it's not going to give him extra more, it's not going to just feed money into it, but he's saying it should have enough to be, so like the stocks are going down because people are freaked out, but then they'll probably go level back up. Virgin Galactic was founded in 2004, recently announced job cuts and the suspension of commercial flights for 18 months in order to save money for a larger spacecraft called Delta that would carry passengers to the edge of space. You want to go? $450,000. You got that much on your American Express? So, interesting. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Yes, no. Sounds made up. Law. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, this one sounds made up. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, bathroom humor. Oh, here we go. 5 surprising stories from the toilet. Is that dog barfing? I hope that dog's okay. What kind of is that? Oh, that's a hand. I thought it was like a leg or something. It's a hand. It's a hand like this. Like Tippy the dog was trapped behind his owner's toilet. Bathroom is supposed to be a safe space, but there have been several surprising discoveries made in and around the toilet recently. Here's a recap of 5 of them. A woman's visit to Michigan's Dixon Lake went to pot recently when she followed her dropped Apple Watch into an outhouse tank and became trapped inside. They heard a woman calling for help from inside the outdoor toilet. She told police she crawled into the commode's smelly storage system to retrieve her dropped Apple Watch and found that she was unable to climb back out. They used a strap to hoist her and her she got the watch. Was it worth it? Oh my gosh. What was that? Minnesota? Michigan. The Michigan State Police raised a stink about the incident on social media, writing, "If you lose an item in an outhouse toilet, do not attempt to venture inside the containment area. Serious injury may occur." So here's what the toilet looked like. Oh, that's just weird. You guys saying LOL? Okay. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so what's next? Lizard surprise. There was another toilet. My lips stuck together. That reminds me when I was a trophy queen. You know, you're smiling with the trophy like that. And your lips, the wind, because you're outside, it's a racetrack. And your lips dry to your teeth. And you can't unsmile. You have to just keep smiling until it's done. Oh. Okay. There was another toilet misadventure in Hollywood, Florida, this time of the lizard variety. Crystal Collins said she and her husband had to call a friend for backup when they discovered an iguana lurking inside the toilet in their guest bathroom. Collins said the large lizard in the toilet bowl initially appeared to be dead, but it proved to be very much alive when their friend reached in with a garbage bag. The green privy pest was released outside the home. Collins said her initial reaction was to joke about burning the house down while her husband let out a series of sounds that she described as very manly. She explained, "Neither of us do lizards." You guys need to see it play.
Now only on CBS News Miami. Not what you want to see when you lift up the lid. A Hollywood couple discovered an iguana in their toilet. They don't know how it got there, but they can't flush this out of their minds.
Yikes. CBS News Miami's Larry Seward explains what to do if you find yourself in a similar situation and ways to avoid it in the first place.
Inside the Hollywood home surrounded by synthetic grass that owners hope iguanas avoid.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
One squatter in the toilet.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. His eyes are open and he's green.
Shook Crystal Collins.
I swear to God, if he jumps down, I will die.
Almost as much as her husband.
The sounds that came out of my husband were so funny, and we searched the cameras in our house to find out if we.
All right. So you wish you were in Tijuana eating barbecued iguana. Wow, that's the words of a song. Which song is that? oh wait. On to better topic. Potty talk. On to better topics. No, we still got more potty ones. Okay. Men designed toilets. Nothing is worth that. Yeah, going in the outhouse. Because they don't have to clean them. There's some better ones now. They also need to learn how to aim. Yeah, men do. Yes. I wish I was in Tijuana eating barbecued iguana. I think that's what you meant, right? Okay, so what's the next one? Snakes on the toilet. In another case of cold-blooded commandeering, a Tucson, Arizona woman went into her bathroom and lifted the toilet lid to discover a black and pink coach whip snake looking back at her. Michelle Lesbrun contacted Reptile Removal since Rattlesnake Solutions, and a trapper named Nicholas ended up making 3 visits to her home in 2 days. The reptile wrangler was finally able to grab the slippery snake as it attempted to flee down the drain. Coach whips are not venomous, but are known to get aggressive when handled by humans. Rattlesnake Solutions said snakes have been found in local toilets before, but it is among the rarest of situations we are called to handle. Well, that's good to know. Check comments. I'm not sure of the title. Okay. I wish I was in Tijuana eating barbecued iguana. Everybody check your toilets for sure. Okay, what's the next one? Curious Canine. The Woodlands Fire Department in Texas was called to a home where a small dog went exploring in the bathroom and ended up wedged behind the toilet. The department said firefighters ended up having to remove sheetrock from the wall to bring the lavatory retriever named Tippy back to his owners. Firefighters said there were no injuries from Tippy's toilet trial. They couldn't remove the toilet instead? Yeah, poor puppy. I do. A public works crew in Chino Hills, California, found an engagement ring that had been flushed down the toilet by its owner's young son 14 months earlier. Jana Glass said her 5-year-old son flushed the ring in March 2022, and despite the best efforts of her now husband John, a pair of plumbers, and public works employees, the ring was not recovered. 14 months later, a Chino Hills public works crew was performing sewer maintenance in the neighborhood when workers spotted something shiny among the sewage, a literal diamond in the rough. Crew members recalled hearing the tale of the couple's lost ring and returned it to the family after a thorough cleaning. John Glass said the family can laugh about it now. He looks forward to telling the story of the flushed ring someday at his stepson's wedding. Oh, how about odd 5 times Thanksgiving dinner made the headlines? Let's see your comments so I don't get too behind. You guys are really going to town now. Oh, no new comments. Okay. This will be the last one, then we'll close it down for tonight. Liberty and Bell participate in a turkey pardoning ceremony at the White House. Here are 5 times that traditional Thanksgiving foods, including turkey, potatoes, and macaroni, made the odd news headlines. Aggressive turkey causes chaos in Minnesota neighborhood. Residents of a Coon Rapids, Minnesota mobile home park, complained earlier this year that they were being terrorized by an unwelcome neighbor, a wild turkey. Neighbors said a flock of turkeys spent time in the area in November 2021, but one of the birds stayed behind when his cohorts moved on and has since been attacking cars, damaging property, and chasing children. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources told residents the best thing they can do to encourage the turkey to leave is to keep trash and other potential food sources secured. There you go. There's the turkey. Inert World War II grenade found among potatoes at a factory. Whoa! Sounds like something that would happen here in Cambodia. Only not in World War II. It would be an unexploded ordnance from the 70s. Workers at a factory in the suburbs of Auckland, New Zealand, spotted something on their potato conveyor belt that definitely would have ruined a Thanksgiving reveler's mash: an inert World War II grenade. Night shift employees at the Mr. Chips factory said 28 tons of recently delivered russet potatoes were on the conveyor belt when a worker spotted what initially appeared to be a particularly mud-covered spud. The New Zealand Defense Force's Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team ended up getting involved when workers discovered the object was a grenade dating back to World War II. The device was found to be a non-explosive grenade, likely used for training purposes. See, you guys got any comments? Just laughing. Okay. 500 pounds of cooked pasta found by the New Jersey River Basin. No Turkey Day dinner would be complete without a side of mac and cheese. I didn't have mac and cheese. I like mac and cheese, but I don't usually have mac and cheese with Thanksgiving. I think that's very Southern. But 500 pounds of cooked pasta next to a New Jersey River Basin might be excessive for even the most voracious of appetites. Residents of Old Bridge discovered the quarter ton of cooked spaghetti, elbow macaroni, and ziti covering a 25-foot area near the bank of the river. The derelict Durham semolina was hauled away by the Old Bridge Department of Public Works after about 2 days. Investigators were able to trace the source of the spaghetti woes back to a local man, but no charges were filed. Yeah, like SpaghettiOs. SpaghettiOs. Georgia man's 186-pound sweet potato harvest might be a world record. Plenty of Thanksgiving dinner enjoyers might have David Anderson of Washington County, Georgia, to thank for their feast after he harvested 186 pounds of sweet potatoes from a single plant. Anderson said weather conditions were ideal this year for a bountiful crop of potatoes and sweet potatoes. The single root system yielded 186 pounds of sweet potatoes, breaking the record of 81 pounds and 9 ounces set by Manuel Perez of Spain in 2004. That's quite a jump. If a record is 81 pounds and this was 186 pounds, wow. Truck rolls over, covers Ontario highway in celery. Your grandmother would be disappointed if you skipped your veggies, but a truckload of celery stalks didn't quite pass the 5-second rule when they spilled across Highway 400 in the Aurora, Ontario area. Ontario Provincial Police tweeted photos of the roadway absolutely covered in spilled stalks, writing, "So much celery." The high fiber mess took crews several hours to clean up, but no injuries were reported from the truck crash or the resulting celery spill. There you go. There's a picture. Poor celery. Wow. All righty then. That's it. Why are people having mac and cheese for Thanksgiving dinner? I know, right, Mom? I mean, it's like, no, it's not part of my Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, but it's a side dish. I think it's more in the South. For those that don't like the potatoes or perhaps just want it all. That's right, Chalet. Oh, goodness. Well, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight and are rambling around different news stories today. So tomorrow night is Gen X, and Thursday, tomorrow morning for probably most of you. But Wednesday is Gen X, Thursday is travel vlog. I haven't decided where we're going to travel to yet. You love broccoli cheese rice casserole. Yes, I love that. My mom also has another broccoli one that's amazing. But yeah, that broccoli cheese rice one is very delicious. It makes me think more of like potlucks, when you get all the good casseroles, But yeah, I've been teaching Srey Mao some recipes, and so she does really good. She enjoys cooking. And then I have containers, so I can put them in containers and then like freeze some, put some in the fridge, and then pull them out when I want a serving. But recently I've been doing pinto beans, just like, and I'm getting good at it, Mom. Yay! Now you're getting hungry. I know it's getting close to. Oh well, breakfast for Mom, lunch for Chalet, lunch for Mabel. Breakfast for Andy if he's lurking around. In Britain they say 11s, and so Lemoyne would be coming up on snack time. You're so hungry. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you guys go and eat something then. But yeah, I've been cooking beans. Just a pot of beans. And then I can I can either do refried beans, or I can have onion and some meat or something with it, whatever. Yeah. So, but I'm getting good at it now. So saving money by eating beans. Then my son calls, says, "I'm hungry." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, come over. I'll give you some beans." Yeah. No. I'm like, "Okay." Anyway, all right. I love you guys. And as always, love transcends time and space. So wherever you are and whenever you are watching, I hope that you feel my love for you. And look forward to seeing you next time. So have a great day or night, everyone. Chalet, that's right. So see you guys next time. Bye.